Already?
We can put everything we can together. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started. We on, Paul? Okay. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order if we may, please. It's a little bit after 7. And I hear there's some people that have some responsibilities after the meeting, so we'll try to keep things going. At first, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, so if everybody can please stand. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, all board members, you should have got minutes from the last board meeting. Did you have time to look them over? If so, do we have a motion to accept them as printed?
Bob, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the last month's meeting.
I'll second.
Any second, or made motion by Sharon, seconded by Tara. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Claims for the month of June. Any questions or comments on the claims as printed?
Bob, I'd like to make a motion. We approve the claims on the end of May, or I guess it's June 1st, June 18th.
31st.
It goes through
Well,
the 18th. I
Sure,
think.
period there. It says May 22nd to May 31st.
Okie dokie. I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Ryan. What's it? Okay. Sharon made the motion, seconded by Ryan. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Principals report.
Um,
So,
Mr. Sickle, if you don't mind, before we get into those, there are a couple things that we need to add real quick.
sure.
We have got some names now for our technology assistant to
Okay.
assist Mr. Hancock. And I would like for that to be number 25.
Okay.
And we'll get to that name. It is an added name. It is not somebody that is new to us, though. That will be Kim Pullen that we will ask for you to approve. And then Brooke McDaniel, number 26, addition of instructional assistant at the high school level. So just those two additions before we get moving further into the agenda.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Apple. Okay, I guess, elementary.
We got Dr. Holder here, her
Yeah.
first report.
First report, come on up.
Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you. Up to this point, it's just been a great opportunity to have onboarding, and I can't thank the superintendent's office enough. Carrie and Dustin and Paul, everyone has just been so welcoming. They stop, they make you feel important. They answer all of your questions, whether they're small or, big, and it's just been very kind and appreciative. So I just wanted to thank everyone. I'm super excited to get started next month. We're going to meet with our PTSO tomorrow and start for the back to school bash and get ready to kick off for a fantastic school year. So we're excited and thankful.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's show our appreciation. Welcome her to here. Okay, Dr. Belker.
Thank you. Since our last meeting, we haven't had a lot go on since then, but we did welcome or say congratulations to 51 graduates on graduation night, which I'm told went very smoothly. So I appreciate Dr. Apple and everyone else picking me up on that night, so I could be at that wedding. And it is weird to say now that I have a son-in-law, so it is those of you in different life stages, that is something that takes some getting used to. I think we've had a very successful year with our students, showing growth and showing success. And I just want to thank our faculty and staff for all their hard work during the year and the time they put in. On the sports front, softball competed, got beat in the sectional final. Baseball got beat in the sectional semifinals. And they both won games in the postseason. And I thought they played their best at the end of the year and really improved. Got message yesterday that our Lanesville FFA was ranked as superior chapter in the state of Indiana, and will be recognized this week at the state convention, which will be at Purdue. And they actually left, I believe it was yesterday morning to go. No, it was this morning, and they come back on Thursday from there. You can tell the building's still busy. There's a lot of people in and out. Volleyball camp going on right now. Basketball tends to go in the morning, volleyball later in the evening, as well as some other things. That Gaga pit, every time you look out, it's being used. So people on the playground equipment. So it's good to see the building in use with our different groups. I also, just want to thank Dr. Apple and the board for the opportunity to spend this year at Lanesville. I appreciate the investment you guys put in me and exposed me to all facets of the school district. I've enjoyed my time here. Like I said, sometimes there's an opportunity I don't feel I can pass up, pending school board approval over there. But I just want to thank everybody. I appreciate Dr. Apple and the board and everybody here at Lanesville. So for accepting me. So that's it. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be talking about Mr. Velker a little bit more later on, but we appreciate all you've done. Superintendent's report.
Yeah, I'm going to brief you guys on a few things that we have in the works that we're looking forward to. The first one, we are in some conversations with some companies about some solar work for the school corporation as the summer goes on. As we get into July, August, they will do some presentations before the board. What we are looking at are getting some solar panels on the roof. What that will allow us to do is by saving money on our utility costs, because we are 100% electric here in this building. We don't run natural gas for anything. What that will allow us to do, we are hoping, is to save money on those utility costs. And here in a little bit, we'll do a transfer from education to operations. Well, that would then allow us to cut down even more. We've already cut from 15%, which is allowable, to 12. We hope to cut down even farther in order to keep more money into classrooms. Anything we can do to get money directly affecting students, we think is a good thing. And we think that this investment, for the next 30 years, will allow us to keep more money into classrooms potentially. And so we are looking at that. Another thing that they are looking at for us when they're coming in is potentially coupling that with some HVAC work. We've had a lot of work done recently and a lot of investment in that. The system is not nearly as old as I thought it was originally. We only have 13 years on those chillers. They have a life expectancy is supposed to be of about 30 years. When I got here into this position, we had one chiller that I had never seen run. We currently have that one running at 66% capacity. We were running on each of those chillers have 6 compressors in them. We were running on one compressor in one chiller. So essentially 16% on one. We've got a compressor being put in this summer on that one. And so we will be running at 66% capacity on one and a third capacity on the other. And then working to continue to upgrade those to make sure that we continue to build the capacity on those. We've also got some other things that are going to be done with them. Some hot gas bypass valves. Don't ask me what they do, but they do something. But that they're looking at some of that stuff to see what else we can do to make sure that works better. We've had a boiler completely redone. That is now finished for the wintertime. So now both boilers are up and running 100% of capacity. So we have put thousands and thousands of dollars in that HVAC system. And we're going to continue to do so because we know when our kids are comfortable and our teachers are comfortable, we do better. And so just kind of an update on some of that stuff. One update I'd like to give you, if you remember, those of you that come to these meetings regularly, we added a weather service this spring called Clarity. The company's called BAM, and the service is called Clarity. And what it does is it gives us the opportunity. They give us immediate feedback, but we also have the opportunity to talk to meteorologists instantly. And I've shown some board members and some others how that works. And just to kind of give you an update on the impact that's had already, we had several days this spring with some tornadic activity and some strong thunderstorms that were coming through. By the conversations we were able to have with the meteorologists, it gave us a better idea of what it is that we needed to do. Come to school on time, get out early, stay on time, whatever it was. And the one that I like to point out to people is that maybe all of our neighbors let out school early one day this springtime. And when I talked to the people at Clarity, they said that's probably not your best window. Your best window is your normal release time. And so we did. We released at our normal time. Before school was out, we started getting photos and videos of a tornado that was just north of the interstate, which our buses would have been going down during that time. That was during our early release time, our normal release time. And so I like to point out to people that, yeah, it's so far, knock on wood, nothing's 100%, but it has helped us out tremendously. And keeping our kids safe is our top priority, and it's something that helps us. It also helps with athletics, but really the safety aspect. And it got to the point this spring where our neighbors, corporations, were reaching out to me asking what our meteorologist was saying. And so I would get updates and I would relay them to them, and then they would use that information to try to help, because the county does a wonderful job, but it's that broad scope that we get from the county, that they get from the National Weather Service, that's more focused on Louisville. This pinpoints Lanesville, and they pull up our data, they pull up and they tell us exactly. And so people have been asking us questions about it, but I wanted to give that update that, so far that's money well spent on our part. Another thing that's underway, Mr. Hancock and I have been viewing new Lanesville website. The corporation website, hopefully early in July, will be up and going, and then they're going to then work on the 2 school sites, but get the corporation site up and going. And I shared some of it with the board the other day. It looks vastly better than what we had. It kind of brings, Lanesville up to the current times. And so just know that work is underway, and hopefully the corporation side will be here in the next, first week or so of July, and then right at the start of school, shortly after, the new school sites will be there, but we will never have any downtime. So there will always be the site there. Just as soon as that one's finished, they will plug them in. And so we won't be down on anything like that. One thing I'd like to let everybody know, July the 11th, administrators in the corporation and school board members are having our school board retreat. So we'll get together and kind of get to know each other. We've got a number of new administrators, and it'd be good for the board to sit down with them and then get to know them a little bit better, but then also look at the year coming up and what are our main goals and what would we like to tackle. Look at the year behind and what did we get to? What do we still need to keep going? And so that's always a good thing to build for the future. That's kind of that event that you use to turn the page from one year to the next. When you have that, then we're oriented, we're set, and we're going. I'd like to thank Dr. Velker and Mr. Smitley, who's not here, for the work that they did at Lanesville Community School Corporation. And like I tell everybody, I'd much rather have one good year with an outstanding leader than 5 years of mediocrity. And while Mr. Smitley was here for 3 years and Dr. Velker here for 1 year, I think we got that. And I think both schools improved and they made strides forward. And the people that we are bringing in, I have no doubts will continue that. Which leads me to my last thing. And even though I don't want to jump the gun here, but I would like to welcome our new hires and our new employees. And we have a couple here tonight that when we get to, we'll have a little photo op. But then besides that, we also have a new ag teacher that we're asking you guys to approve tonight, who is new to teaching ag here, but definitely not new to Lanesville. And I think she will do a wonderful job. Science teacher coming in, I think that will do a wonderful job. And then the two that we had added, but it's like I tell people all the time, schools are like rivers, and they just keep moving, and there's no stopping them. And that's what we do, is we press on.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Apple. Just comment on back on the weather service. What I like about it, I think most of you know, it's 24/7. You can call them if you have some bad weather coming in, and you got it's worth a lot.
Yeah, 3 a.m. on the roads, they let you know what's coming.
Yes.
What did you charge the other schools for the information?
Well, I was thinking the same. I was thinking the same thing. There.
It came
We could have made a little money.
Bill.
We could have. I know. We'll need the favor returned at some point.
Yeah, that's good.
Dr. Apple,
Yes.
on the FFA, Dr. Velker said that they went up there. I'm assuming the new teacher didn't go. Who went up with the FFA?
Well,
She did.
she is there, and as is
Okay.
Kalinda,
Okay.
Miss Havener. They're there together,
Yeah.
and it's a time really for her to get the feel of where the program stands, what they're doing, get to meet some of the kids, some of the leaders, and so they're up there together.
Okay, great.
Ms. Havener is the director until 30th.
Okay.
Shelby.
Dr. Velker was in on the interview, and I was too, and I think you're going to be well pleased. Shelby's going to be a good fit. Okay. Any questions for any of the reports from elementary to high school to superintendent? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on into the PTSO report. Nothing, no ball games or anything. Okay. Okay, appreciate all what you're doing with PTSO. Very good. Public comments to any of the agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on into approval of the transfer of the $146,000 from the education fund to the operational fund.
Yep. And again, this is something here at Lanesville we do quarterly. State statute allows you to go up to 15% of that yearly educational budget. We've backed that down to 12, and hopefully with some measures coming in the near future, we'll be able to back that down a little bit more, keep more money in that education fund and in the hands of teachers and classrooms.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve 146,000.
okay. Ryan made a motion to approve, move 146,000. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Now, this next one is a little bit of a shortfall under the amortization. I'll let Dr. Apple explain what really happened there.
Yeah. And
Thanks
so,
to your good eyes and Penny. you caught it.
well, it's more penny than anybody. But what it is when you do any projects and bond money out, you get an amortization schedule where you pay that money back. And so we had that. We had the schedule that was originally given to us by DLGF, and it is getting ready to end in December. And so when we were looking at the final numbers, the amortization schedule didn't match. So when we got a hold of the state of Indiana, they said, well, no, that's not quite what it is. Somehow there was about a $3,200 shortfall. When you build your budget, you build that because you have the schedule, you build it exact. So it's not like some other line items where you put wiggle room in. I mean, you know what you owe, so you put it in. We've got the money to pay it. So what we have to do then is get approval from you guys. We've already been through the steps with the state. Then we need your approval to allow us to spend a little bit of extra money. We went ahead and went $5,000 instead of the exact amount, just in case they come back and say, well, on that last one, it's really a little bit different than what we told you last time. But that's where that is. And, you know, for years and years and years, we've been operating under that amortization schedule. We've been making those payments like you're supposed to make. And that's been the right amount of payments. I mean, nobody's ever said you owe us more money or anything like that. It just that last payment is a little bit higher than the rest. And so we just need approval to move some money and pay that.
So anything left over, well, we'll go back in. It's just you're having a little cushion there, so we don't have
Yes.
to ask for more. But
Correct.
when I saw that, I asked Dr. Apple, I said, well, you and Penny have better eyes than the State Board of Accounts. You caught it first. So good. Do we have a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion that we approve the additional appropriation.
Okay, Jason made it. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Sharon. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Okay, next, number 11, approval of hiring the junior senior high school science teacher, Bethany Pippin. Do we have
I'll
a
make
motion?
to approve the hiring.
Okay,
second.
Jason made the motion to approve the hiring of the science teacher, Newman, and Tara seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Approval of the resignation of Sarah Wheeler as the resignation as substitute teacher and coordinator for the 24-25 school year.
Yeah, and this one, Miss Wheeler, she was student teaching with us this last year, and so it was a way for her to earn a little extra income. And she is teaching for us full time this year. She's moving to the 4th grade, but doesn't feel that she will have the time to do the sub coordinator, and so we'll have to open that up and search for that.
So if anybody's willing to have a little extra job, that the door is open. Do we have a motion to accept Mrs. Wheeler's resignation as substitute teacher coordinator?
I'll make a motion.
Made by Tara. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Ryan. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, approve of hiring. When I first saw that, Eric, I thought, now, do you pronounce that Eric? Or that? I've never seen one spelled A, but there's nothing wrong with that. I bet you I'm not the first person mentioned. Probably won't be the last. Got some good looking boys there. Yeah. Approval of Eric Miller as the junior and senior high school principal. Unless Mr. Velker doesn't get approved over there. That's right. That's right. We're not going with it. So do we have a motion to accept the hiring of Mr. Miller?
I'll make the motion. We hire Eric Miller as Thainesville Junior Senior High School principal.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Welcome aboard. Yeah. Podium's yours if you'd like to say anything. I just want to comment, I like your hairstyle.
Thank you.
Really,
This is just how I did the summer. It'll grow back in the winter, I hope.
Summer cut.
Just want to say thank you. My name's Eric Miller. This is an amazing opportunity for me and my family both. We love Lanesville. Having this opportunity to work here in the community that we live in and serve in is just outstanding. And I just can't thank you guys enough for this opportunity. So thank you.
well, you won't have to drive too far. Will
I
you?
won't. No, with traffic, I think it's 4.5 minutes. So we
Could
should be
almost
all right
walk.
for a while. Yeah. Oh yeah. Might get a golf cart. This might be a good excuse.
There you go. There you go.
Tell my wife. All right. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Eric, before you leave tonight, you need to get a picture with the board. So make sure you don't duck out before that happens.
Well,
Same thing with you,
it
Miss
was-
Smith.
Yeah, Mrs. Sarah Seymour. Okay, then now next, the approve of the hiring of Sarah Smith as, Dr. Smith as, Lanesville School Community Coordinator Corporation Element Assistant. I can't even talk here. Assistant Principal, rather. So she's going to be the Assistant Principal for K through 12, and it's a new position. We feel that she's very qualified, and we'd like to first approve her, and then if you want to say additional comments, you're more than welcome. It's up to you. Do we have a motion to accept Mrs. Smith as the new Assistant Principal?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, made by Ryan. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tara.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. You'd like to take the floor again?
Congratulations.
So I'm Sarah Smith. I'm very excited for this opportunity. We have 3 children. My husband Derek is with me tonight. We have going to be a 5th grader and a 1st grader, and then a 4-year-old that will finish up a year of preschool, and then she'll be in kindergarten. We live also just right down the road. If they would fix the bridge right there, we'd be about 5 or 6 minutes. But because I have to go around, maybe more like 8 to 10. I'm very excited to be in the community. I came from New Albany, Floyd County at Scribner, so much bigger. I'm very excited for the hometown community feel and being able to be a part of the things that a small town and the community can embrace versus the big corporation that I came from. So, and I'm very thankful for you guys for giving me this opportunity.
Appreciate it. Welcome aboard. Okay, next, the hiring, she's not here. As we mentioned, Shelby, Mrs. Adams is at the state FFA convention, but I think you'll be well pleased with her, just like the other people. And do we have a motion to accept her as the new FFA sponsor?
I'll make a motion.
Made by Ryan. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Sharon. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, we talked some time ago that the nurse was spread pretty thin, and so we're hiring an assistant to help our nurse, and Mrs. Tara Puckett. Do you have any other comments on that, Dr. Apple?
Yeah, Tara has been with us in the past. There was a time that she was an instructional assistant in the building. But in the last year or two, she's been kind of the go-to sub for Nurse Guston when she hasn't been here. And so Ms. Puckett is very familiar with the staff, with the school. Her own kids are here. And so I think she will really be able to help us out, and it'll give us the need that it'll fill the need that we have, where we've got somebody in both buildings. We don't have elementary kids walking up here or big kids walking down. It helped keep us a little separated.
Good. Okay, do we have a motion to accept Tara Puckett as a nurse's assistant?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, made by Tara. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Okay, approval of the wage rate for medical assistant position.
Yeah, and that starts out year 1, $18 an hour, year 2, $19 an hour, year 3, $20, year 4, $21 an hour, and then 5 or more years jumps up to $23 an hour.
Okay.
We did quite a bit of research on some other corporations around us, and that's competitive with them.
Okay.
Is this for the nursing assistant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion. We approve the wage rate for the medical assistant position.
Okay, Jason made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Tara. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, now the wage rate schedule for the technology assistant.
Yep. And that one is 230 days, 8 hours a day. And so they will work with Mr. Hancock. And that 230 days is important because there's a lot of work that happens when students aren't here that they will need to work on, rolling out Chromebooks, doing different things like that. But that ranges from year one at $22 an hour, year two, $23, year three, $24 an hour, year four, $25 an hour, and then 5 plus $27 an hour. Once again, we researched other corporations around us, trying to make sure there was something competitive.
Just meet your approval, Paul. You glad? Thumbs up. I'm sure you could use some help at
That
times.
man needs.
Get pulled a lot of different ways. Okay, do we have a motion to accept this position?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, made by Ryan. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Sharon seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Approval of new PA system, and that's the PA system, not for the gym. That is the PA system when they're doing the announcing. I
Yeah.
heard through the grapevine, there were some classrooms that didn't maybe get notified, and especially under emergency of something, we want to make sure that
Correct.
everybody is notified.
Yep, we had some instances this year that we found that whenever we were trying to make some announcements, they weren't going into classrooms. I think Mr. Kramer, you may have been one of them, weren't you? Miss Acton next to you, and it was hit or miss. One room may have it, one room may not. Maybe sandwiched a room that the PA doesn't work correctly in the classroom was sandwiched between two that does. We knew that we needed, for safety reasons, we have to address that immediately. Mr. Hancock did quite a bit of work on doing some reaching out to companies, see what we could do. We know that the PA system was here at least as early as 1994. And we're not sure exactly when it was put in there, probably bits and pieces here and there. We're not doing a complete overhaul of the PA system. That would cost us in excess of $150,000. What we are working on is, and I don't know exactly what this means, and then maybe Mr. Hancock, I know he's back there with his headphones on, but the proposed project would replace the head end of the PA system. The company would then test and repair any speakers, cabling that may have been damaged over the years, and get us back up to 100% functionality. And so instead of $150,000 pulling everything out, redoing everything, we're getting functional, and it's going to cost us about $37,000, which we don't need all the bells and whistles of the most up to date, but what we need is make sure that we're safe.
Yeah.
And that's where this will put us at. That way, all the classrooms, if there's ever an instance where we have to give directions, every classroom will be able, in the hallways and wherever that we have speakers, will be able to hear that efficiently.
Good. Okay.
The proposed most likely be over fall break.
All right. Okay. So you will get some good use out of it this year then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you heard comments on the new PA system. Do we have a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion.
Tara made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ryan. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Approval of the St. Mary's Catholic Church to use the 2 mid buses for their annual August picnic, August the 11th. And do we have a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Ryan made a motion. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Second by Sharon. I'll abstain from voting because of conflict of interest there. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Reading of the second, and if anybody was here last month, we had a marathon of a reading contest here.
We read them all.
We
Now
read them
on the second reading, we're only going to read any changes. One change that I know we had was on our attendance policy. On the section that reads unexcused absences, it should say excused absences.
Yay.
It says the following absences are excused. So we've got that marked down to make that change. Other than that, all policies should be good to go.
Okay. So how do you want to do this? You got 21. We'll have to approve that and then we go
And then,
approve
yep.
22.
Yep.
Okay.
So the second reading is finished and no changes, additional changes.
None other than just stated.
Okay.
So we'll call for a
Then go down to
motion.
22.
22, and this will be the final blessing.
Yeah.
on
And
it.
that shouldn't say 21 shouldn't say approval. No, it should just be the second reading.
Reading,
Yeah.
yeah.
The approval comes on 22.
22,
Right.
correct. Okay, so number 22, we'll approve those areas plus policies plus the new additional change. Do we have a motion to accept that?
I'll
Oh.
make a motion.
Tara made the motion, seconded by
I'll second
Jason,
it.
seconded by Sharon.
And if you guys do want me to read through all those
No,
again, I
no.
would be
Sure.
more than happy to
I remember every one of
waste the next 30 minutes.
Okay, you-
30. It was longer than
Yeah,
that,
long.
But-
it's like 45, wasn't it?
Sharon said you remembered every one of them, right, Sharon?
Yeah, I did. I remember every one of them.
Okay.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah.
quiz. I was gonna say, we'll give you a quiz here. Okay. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, now 23. We got the basketball coaches. We got a bunch of them here.
Volleyball.
We got Adam Belden at high school volleyball, Serena Belden as assistant volleyball, Heather Baker, JV volleyball, Casey Hill as 7th grade volleyball, Shelby Barr as 8th grade volleyball, James Campbell as girls golf head coach, Kurt Daniel as girls golf assistant volunteer coach, Michael Sizemore as varsity boys tennis coach, Jack Coffer as volunteer tennis coach, Ethan Schickel as volunteer tennis coach, James Pars as high school boys tennis
Junior
coach.
high. Junior high.
I'm sorry, junior high boys tennis coach. Amy Graves as varsity boys tennis assistant coach. Holly Bailey as high school cross country coach. Lauren Petty as junior high cross country coach. Jason Simler as 7th grade boys basketball coach. Gene Klusmar as volunteer high school boys basketball coach. And that is it for now.
Essentially just hired the entire fall, but also Jason Simler and Gene Klusmeyer, because if you recall last month, we approved an overnight basketball camp for junior high to go to Hanover,
Mhm.
and so that's already been approved. But we needed to make sure that the coaches were approved by the board because Jason Simler is a new coach. James Powers will be a continuing coach. He's also going, but he's a continuing coach in that junior high program. And then Gene Klusmeyer needed approval as well. That way they are board approved coaches so they can go on
Okay.
with the camp.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to accept the coach positions and volunteers?
I'll make a motion.
Tara made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Okay, we got a couple fundraisers. Junior high cheer to hold a car wash on July the 13th, and I'm assuming that's down at the bank where they normally have it, Dr. Apple.
I do not know, but that's probably a safe assumption.
They
Yeah.
Is it First Harrison Lanesville branch?
usually have it down
Yeah.
there by the bank.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
Harrison.
First Harrison,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And junior high cheer to sell concessions in junior high school boys tennis matches.
I'll make a motion. We approve the fundraisers.
Okay, Jason made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Sharon. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Now the assistant
The technology assistant,
technology.
that is Kim Pullen. Kim has been here before with us. And she's coming back to Lanesville in that capacity. So I would ask that you guys approve Kim Pullen to be the new technology assistant.
I'll make a motion. We approve.
Made by Tara. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Now number 26, Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke McDaniel as high school instructional assistant for the 24-25 school year.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept Brooke?
I'll make a motion to hire instructional assistant Brooke McDaniel.
Made by Sharon. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Tara. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Um,
I'll make a motion for internment.
okay, Brian made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second, and we'll call the meeting adjourned. We got some pictures of the new
Photo op.
administration.
And before you guys leave,
Sign.